This is Figfour. It's a specialised training aid for mixed climbing. It's designed to allow climbers to train for dry tooling, mixed climbing and ice climbing at their local wall, and it works by allowing climbers to replicate the actions of climbing with axes on a normal indoor climbing surface without damaging the holds, mats and their friends as they might if they were to use traditional ice axes. Climbing with Figfour feels as close as you can get to climbing with axes without actually having picks. By being crafty with your choice of boulder problem or route, you really can train for a wide variety of winter terrain. By setting short, steep boulder problems, you can train that upper body power you need for powerful boulder problems you find on steep mixed routes. By doing long, juggy top ropes or lead routes, it's a great way of training just your forearm endurance for those sustained ice pitches. By using sketchier, slopey holds or small screw-on holds, you really can emulate the feeling of hooking small holds that you get, which is tends to be the hardest part of dry tooling. Figfour also offers you the chance to learn some of the techniques that you just don't come across in rock climbing but are crucial to mixed climbing, such as figures of 4 and 9 and the ability to swap hands on your tools, which you just aren't going to learn rock climbing at your local wall. The decision to use wood as the primary material for the tools was taken at quite an early stage. I'm a big fan of the aesthetic of plywood. I just think it's beautiful. And it's also really hard to beat in terms of its strength to weight ratio, availability and cost as well. It's also got a long-standing association with training for climbing. The reason people make campus rungs and fingerboards out of wood is that because it's slightly porous, it's very easy to get good grip on it without having to sort of texture the surface, which can damage your skin, so it lets you train for harder for longer. The loop part is stamped out of double reinforced industrial belting rubber. It's really strong, really durable, and if it does wear out, it's really cheap to replace. It also gives you a little bit of friction as well, which helps you stick those slopier, sketchier holes. The tools are really easy to assemble and dismantle for maintenance. The loop can easily be replaced if it does wear out, and to fit the new one, all you do is you simply take the die cut end of the rubber loop, place it into the corresponding groove on the tool, thread the clamp assembly through the hole through the centre, tighten it up till it's finger tight, and you're good to go. Yeah. We've tested the tools extensively over the last 6 months in a series of events that we've called Dry Ice. The first of which was up in the French Alps in Argentier, where we visited the bouldering festival Tout à Bloc and took a selection of the tools along for people to have a play with and tell us what they thought. Since then we've run sessions at climbing walls across the UK from Aviemore down to Devon, and the final event is going to take place back up in Argentier in January, when we'll visit the ice climbing festival, which is the sister festival of Tout à Bloc, and hopefully that's going to be the launch of the product. When I was developing the tools, the core user I had in mind was definitely a kind of committed M10 cranking sport mixed climber looking to push their grade. But interestingly, in the course of testing the products through the Dry Ice series, we've discovered that complete novices seem to enjoy the tools just as much. People who've never done any mixed climbing or even really realised it existed are having as much fun as pro users like Ian Parnell and Andy Turner, who've also been really positive about the project. The plan is to launch Figfour at the Ice Climbing Festival in Alpkit in January. After that, it will be made available for sale on the Alpkit website, alpkit.com. That's in the bag.